A record-breaking 12th straight win for Red Bull and 7 in a row for Max Verstappen in Hungary. McLaren proved they're likely to be fast at all tracks going forward, and Lewis Hamilton did what he does better than anybody else in Formula 1 history. Welcome back to AHGP. These are my driver ratings for the Hungarian Grand Prix. The highest rated driver for a second race in a row is Lando Norris for McLaren. He gets a 4.5. It was a classy drive. He was never really flustered despite what the radio messages say, and a career first of back-to-back podiums for the Brit. Excellent job. Race winner Max Verstappen is next. He gets a 4. Again, he was unchallenged, but he's still performing at a supreme level. His teammate Sergio Perez follows with a 3.5, a good recovery drive, but arguably P3 is a failure with his car. Let me know what you think on that. Also getting a 3.5 is Oscar Piastri, a very accomplished drive from the young Aussie. P5 was probably the best on offer for him. Pole sitter Lewis Hamilton gets a 3. He did what he does better than anyone in qualifying, but that poor start wrecked his race. The returning Daniel Ricciardo gets a 3 as well. It's great to have Dan back, and he outperformed Yuki Tsunoda. That is a real line in the sand for the Australian. George Russell is next. He gets a 2.5. He shouldn't have been 18th on the grid, but a very nice recovery drive to benefit from Ferrari being Ferrari. Alfa Romeo's Valtteri Bottas is next. He gets a 2. A good quali and a good launch off the line, but the Turn 1 chaos scuppered his hopes of points. And his teammate Zhou Guanyu also gets a 2. His career best qualifying was overshadowed by the Hamilton pole, but he ruined it all before Turn 1's exit. Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso gets a 2 as well. He was quiet again, and his teammate Lance Stroll also gets a 2. He matched his teammate, relatively speaking. He finished a place behind him, so I guess that's okay. Williams' Alex Albon also gets a 2. He finished 11th, but no misery up front for him to benefit from. Really, he finished higher than I expected. Charles Leclerc gets a 1.5 at Ferrari. He compounded the Ferrari disappointment with a basic error of speeding in the pit lane. And his teammate Carlos Sainz also gets a 1.5. He just lacked pace all weekend, and this was quite the opposite of a smooth operation. Kevin Magnussen also gets a 1.5. I forgot he was even in this race. Nico Hülkenberg gets a 1.5 as well. He was noticed more for his hair than his on-track performance. Yuki Tsunoda gets a 1.5. He was beaten by a returning Daniel Ricciardo, and he has to make sure that is a one-off event. Logan Sargent gets a 1.5. He had a late spin and retired, but he spent much of the race at the back anyway. And then to round things off, we have the Alpine pair of Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. Ocon gets a 1. He was an innocent victim of Turn 1, but the pace just wasn't good enough all weekend, and considering what McLaren are doing, it's just not good enough from Alpine. And Pierre Gasly also gets a 1. Innocent victim as well, but that's just what can happen when you're in the midfield. And all that means the average drivers table looks like this, with Lando Norris leaping up to 3rd ahead of Perez and Hamilton, and Piastri is now into the top 10 too. Alex Albon is still repping for Williams in 7th. And here's the bottom half, which is the same as last week, but Ricciardo is there now too. And on the Australian, I'm going to give him 5 races to get a representative average before I add him in properly. Of course, let me know what you think of my ratings. Tell me which driver stood out for you most in Hungary. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it with people who you think might enjoy it too. Subscribe for more Grand Prix content, and thanks very much for watching.